Hey there, it's Mandee Montana. Are you taking great care of your skin? You know I use great products. I take my vitamins and I drink plenty of water, but I could be better about applying sunscreen daily and making sure my skin is protected against premature aging. What about you? Well, I've got great news. I have a solution. It's the new Premium Diamond Glow Treatment at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler. I love it. I went recently and it exfoliates and hydrates your skin at the same time. Amazing, right? My skin feels so soft and silky after. You have to try it. If you've never had a facial before, they have different options at Hand and Stone, like hydrating and brightening. But if you're struggling with dark spots, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, sallow skin, enlarged pores, or maybe oily skin, this is the treatment for you. If you want your skin to glow and look and feel amazing, book the Diamond Glow. Schedule now by visiting Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in the Cumberland Shopping Center in Tyler or online at handandstonetyler.com.
Life doesn't always need a total overhaul. Sometimes it just needs an edit. Welcome to the Midlife Millennial Edit, where we talk about the tweaks, pivots, and perspective shifts that make all the difference. Midlife Millennial Edit is brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa in Tyler, helping you feel your best through every edit of life. Schedule now by visiting Hand and Stone in the Cumberland Shopping Center or online at handandstonetyler.com. I'm your host, Mandee Montana, broadcaster, storyteller, and fellow midlife millennial, on a mission to explore what thriving really looks like in this next chapter. From wellness and creativity to career pivots and community, we'll dive into real conversations about curating a life that fits who you're becoming. Grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's make this edit together. Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, friends. It's Mandee, and it's been a minute since we have had a little bit of a chat. In fact, I believe this is the first chat of the new year. So welcome to the Midlife Millennial Edit with Mandee Montana. Yes, we rebranded, and you know what? We've crossed a major milestone since beginning this podcast in March of 2023. Yes, we are coming up on 3 years very soon. We have now achieved over 7,500 downloads, and that's because you listened. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. I also want to send a quick shout out and thank you to someone who has supported me from the very beginning, and that would be Michael Petrie. He is the local franchise operator and owner of Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. He and I became friends back when I was in radio and I was endorsing his spa. I fell in love with the membership model and having the opportunity to utilize Hand and Stone as a method of self-care, a practice for myself that I need and I utilize, and I am so grateful that I found them back then. I guess I've been a member now for close to about 10 years, and I absolutely love it, and I'm just so thankful for his sponsorship, his belief in the podcast, and you know what? He's been with me since almost the very beginning. I think there were 4 episodes that we had published before he decided to come on board as our presenting sponsor. So I just wanted to say thank you to him, and thank you to each of you that have been listening for the last 3 years. And over those 3 years, a lot has changed on the podcast. I have gone from being a full-time entrepreneur, podcast host, and network marketing entrepreneur to going back to work full-time. I did that about a year ago. I went to work for a technology company in sales, and I learned very quickly that I had more to learn than I was capable of learning in a short amount of time. And I decided to move on, and I landed at a position at a marketing firm locally that works primarily with nonprofits. That marketing agency is called Cause Creative Group, and I have become their director of client success, and I absolutely love it. The job literally feels like it was made just for me, but it has taken up a lot of my time. So I haven't been able to create and to visit with you on this podcast as much as I did previously. So I just wanted to say thank you for being patient and thank you for supporting me throughout this time. You might remember about 18 months ago, I started a series with my friend Kelly, and we were reading some books together. We were reading books by an author named Sarah J. Maas, and she has 3 different series that she has written, and she's published since she was about 26 years old. The first of those series being Throne of Glass. It's an 8-book series that is complete. The second series that she began Started with A Court of Thorns and Roses, affectionately known by the acronym ACOTAR to many people. And that book series is not yet complete. In fact, this week she announced that books 6 and 7 are on the way. So for those of you that are fans of her writing, you may want to go back and revisit those podcasts. It could be fun. She was recently on another podcast, a much larger and much more popular, widely listened to podcast called Call Her Daddy with host Alex Cooper. And if you are a Sarah J. Maas fan, I highly recommend listening. It's very interesting. They talk some personal inspirations, the history of her writing, and also a little bit about where it's going to go and maybe some fan theories. So again, if you're a fan, you may want to check that out. She also has a third series, Crescent City, that is also not complete and is the most recent book that she released back in, was it January of 23 or 24? House of Flame and Shadow. That is the most recent one. So yes, check those out. And again, if you are a fantasy or romantasy fan and you've never read these books, buckle up. You might become obsessed like I did. I think I have read each of these series 4 times now. I may be on my 5th rereading. I started listening to the audiobook for Throne of Glass earlier this week before I even knew that Sarah J. Maas was going to be on Call Her Daddy. I had begun revisiting the series because I love it so much and I find it inspirational. Sometimes it gives me context on current events. It's very interesting and an interesting time in our world. So revisiting sometimes a story can provide additional thought processes and context and meaning. And so I've been revisiting that story. So I would invite you to do that as well. It's so much fun. And just a quick update on life from me. Things are going really well. There's been a lot of shifting in my life in the last few years. I think one of my more recent episodes was entitled Pivot. And that's what it's been for the past few years. And if you've ever gone through a transitional period in your life, then you probably can relate to that. I think many of us do. A word that's been coming up for me frequently in the last few months is initiation. And I really didn't understand the meaning behind that word. When I think of initiation, I think of that like a ritual into a group. I didn't really think about it as a transition in life, but it can be, right? Like initiation can be a moment of transformation or transition, like from a child to a woman in that stage of life. And then I feel like maybe what is embarking in my life now is another one of those transitions where my hormones are changing again. So it feels like an initiation into maybe more maturity and wisdom at this stage of life. And it has been challenging. I believe a lot of women my age and around my age are going through this too. We've talked about perimenopause on the podcast a few times, and that's the stage of life that I find myself in now. And it's a challenge. My body doesn't function the same way that it did just a few years ago. And so I've been exploring a variety of supplements and peptides and exercise practices and hydration and all the things to feel like myself again. And I think it's also been a little bit of a mental health journey as well. And so I would just invite you that if you're feeling a little bit off, figure it out, keep exploring, don't give up. And I would also say that one size does not fit all. I'm grateful that we have so many influencers and professional people that are speaking out and giving tips and telling us what has helped them. And I've tried to do the same with you. And I would just say that take all of that with a grain of salt. Review as many things as you can. Visit with your healthcare professionals and your wellness professionals and figure out a method that works for you. Because if there is one thing that I have really begun to understand in the last couple of years is that truly there is not a blueprint that works for every single woman, and there's not a specific age that this happens. Everybody's different. Our challenges are different. Our bodies are different. Our approaches need to be different. So just keep exploring, keep trying things. I'll keep sharing what's working for me, but again, by no means does that replace you having a conversation with your healthcare professional or wellness providers that you see. Have those conversations, ask questions, be curious, inform yourself, do your own research, and then use your intuition and your wisdom to take all of that guidance and make the best informed decision that you can for yourself and your body. And gosh, I got on a soapbox about that all of a sudden. I'm not really sure where all of that came from, except that I am coming up on like my annual health exam and have been trying to get the courage up to do couch to 5K again. I don't know if I've shared this on the podcast. I think I have previously, but in case you missed that episode or that nugget that I dropped in somewhere, back in 2021, I was feeling really good. I had a great supplement routine, was hydrating consistently, great exercise routine. I had begun doing couch to 5K because I wanted to actually participate in a 5K for the first time, and was up to running for 20 minutes solid. Like I was about 6 weeks in, and accelerated the program because I was in pretty good shape back then. So I got there very quickly. And then I got COVID. The pandemic finally caught up to me, and I was having pretty significant problems breathing. I know it affects people in a variety of different ways, but for me, the way that it presented in my body was severe shortness of breath, severe fatigue. I was on the couch for about a week, really struggled to stay awake. I struggled to take deep breaths. Exercise just felt insurmountable. And that unfortunately lasted for a while. I got back to where I was outside walking again, but that all hit me in August of 2021. And so really sidelined my aspirations of participating in a 5K. So fast forward to this past fall of 2025, I had dinner with a friend who has been on a weight loss journey. She's down about 80 pounds, and she's been running and also weightlifting, and she's been taking such great care of herself. I'm so proud of her. I'm so encouraged by her. She's such an inspiration to me that I really want to do this. And I've been lifting weights consistently for the past 2 years now. That has been an incredible journey for me. I feel really strong and really capable. And so now I'm in that transition period, right? That pivot. I want to work towards participating in a 5K. And my goal is to maybe participate in one on May 2nd. We'll see if that actually happens. Weather permitting, me getting outside and running. I'm a fair weather runner. I'm going to be just really transparent about that. And currently do not have a treadmill at the house. So I have some challenges to overcome. I have some things to work out in order to achieve that goal. But if you have ever participated in a 5K, even if you walked it, listen, I might just walk this one. I might sign up and totally walk it and jog a little bit and just see what happens, which I think would still be, for me, that would be progress. And that would be working towards that goal. Listen, I don't have any designs on winning any 5Ks. I am not the fastest person. I have never been the fastest person. I have a goal of completing one and eventually running one. Okay, that's a strong term for what I do, which is jog pretty slowly. But that's the goal. That's what I want to work towards. No marathons in my future. We're looking at 5Ks. There's a big one coming up. Actually, tomorrow, I'm recording this in March. There's a big 15K happening in Tyler. I've never participated in that one. Probably not on my radar anytime soon, but people love it. It's amazing. It's a really cool community event. But no, I'm not diving off down that path just yet. So anyway, that's just a quick check-in with me. Those are some of my kind of updates and some of my goals. And listen, I have been so fortunate to have many people reach out and want to be on the podcast. It has strictly been a scheduling conflict with fitting in all the things. But another goal, another thing that's on the to-do list for 2026 is time blocking so that I can get back to putting this as a priority. I love it so much. I'm so grateful for the support that so many of you have shown me for the last 3 years, and so grateful for the support of Hand and Stone, that I want this partnership to continue, and I want this story to continue, and I want to continue to bring you stories of powerful women. That's where this started with the Celebrating Women podcast. I do want to expand it into some pop culture things, some wellness things. Over time, we've been doing a little bit of that in the last 6 months, but that's the direction that we're going, talking about mindset, talking about wellness and health, but also still sharing those incredible, powerful stories of women in my community, whether that's right here in East Texas or beyond, that have inspired me, that have encouraged me, and that I feel could inspire or encourage you. So again, I just want to say thank you so much for your patience and for your support and for listening, because it means the world to me. And this has been, a creative outlet for me beyond radio, which I loved so dearly. I have so many fond memories of that experience. And if you're curious about what that experience was like and is like currently, you could check out my other podcast, which is The Unknown Morning Show. I host it with my friend Chuck McKinley. He's my mentor in radio. He is still actively working in radio, which I just think is awesome, and I admire and respect him so much. He's in the newsroom 5 days a week at the local news station and just doing great work, great and important public work, and I appreciate him so much. So feel free to check that one out. And just once again, I want to say how excited I am about the future and things that are coming. And I definitely, as we get closer to a release of Sarah J. Maas's upcoming books, we'll want to talk more about those. I've got a friend that owns a local bookstore. Maybe you heard that podcast episode with Abby Rhodes of Bound Books. You could always go back and revisit that. I will just give her a quick plug here. She did not ask for this, but if you're planning to pre-order those books, you could pre-order them from an indie bookstore owner. It would make a huge difference in their lives versus maybe ordering from a corporate entity online. Fill in the blank. But I went ahead and signed up for a pre-order with Bound Books. I know there are some other great indie bookstores in the area. Choose yours. But as you're thinking about pre-ordering those books, if you are excited, consider ordering from an indie bookstore when you do. Okay. This has been so fun. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I look forward to a chat soon.
Thanks for tuning in to Midlife Millennial Edit. If today's conversation inspired you, I'd love to hear from you. Head over to mandeemontana.com to explore more episodes, resources, and ways to connect. You can also send me a quick text through the link in the show notes. I love hearing what's resonating and what you'd like to hear next. Until next time, remember, life doesn't need a total overhaul, just an edit.